Hello everybody. You'll have hopefully just seen most of our labour video. You'll notice that probably most of the labour room is actually missing. Reason being that we weren't really in there very long. It was incredibly intense. The pain was intense, so I thought, I've now been home 3 days with the very lovely, and at the moment quite quiet, Miss Thea, Alexandra and Watson. And to be quite honest, they always say like when you have a baby you forget all about your pain and everything virtually straight away. The reason being is if you didn't, you'd never have another baby. I won't be having any more because the bits I can remember are extremely vivid. Very, very vivid, in fact. I do hope to erase them from my mind, because I think they give me nightmares. So, we had the induction. I think there's a video of that. They induced me at 10 o'clock at night. They then put second set of induction cream. That induction cream didn't start to work till about 3 in the morning. Then I was about every 5 minutes by 4 o'clock. Went to the loo. It seemed to stop. She did an examination and put more cream in at 6. Luckily at 6:30, I just had an inkling and I rang Scott, who was there by 7. The second set of the prostaglandin gel seems to have done the trick, and I suppose lots of people have said, wow, you did most of the labour with no pain relief, and I was probably about every minute and a half. I woke the entire ward up, so if you happen to have been in 220 on the antenatal ward in the Lords, I'm really sorry. I probably ruined your breakfast. I certainly did at the point where they took me down to the labour suite. We went from lucid and normal to extremely physically sick and various other things, and had to be they basically just dragged the bed. They're very, very good in the Lords. They dragged the bed and took me straight to the labour suite, and I was in the labour suite probably within about 2.5 minutes. I think Mr. Scott had to leave his tuna sandwich behind.
No, I finished it.
He finished his tuna sandwich. Amazing.
I paid for that, Alexander.
Amazing. Whilst I was violently ill, which is just a reaction to pregnancy, I suppose. So I got into the labour suite. Scott was translating by this point because the pain was incredibly intense and I was not making any sense. And they wanted to ask me so many questions. How many kids have you got? What are the names? Where were they born? What pain relief? It's like, seriously, I'm on fire downstairs. I don't want to talk. I just want the baby out. So he managed to translate most of the stuff. So we arrived in at 2 minutes to 8 in the morning. They had a peep. Now, I left the ward 3 centimetres dilated. By the time we get to the labour ward, Scott says, and I heard her say 7 centimetres. That's quite fast. That's like taking rocket fuel. So things were progressing very, very quickly. So then she says, I'm going to break your waters. And I says, yeah, because they've had to be broken twice before. So she did that, but she did other stuff. It was really painful, and I think she finished the job, quite frankly. And then she just kept saying to me, you can push when you're ready, you can push. There was none of this like, oh, you've got to wait till you're 10 centimetres and measure it, and she's just like, push. Then she offered me, just before the pushy bit, she actually said to me, did I want an epidural? Now, we've timed it, and it was actually 13 minutes from when she asked me to the birth of Thea. So I think it's a good job we said no. So we did all of this on gas and air, which I have to say is awesome stuff. I did take too much in a couple of times and I got
Hi.
very disorientated. My temperature shot up, so they brought in fans. Lynn, the midwife, and Hayley, the student midwife, were amazing. Lynn brought me right back into the room. I cannot speak highly enough about the staff at the Lords in Drogheda. They were absolutely amazing. And had it not been for Scott translating and Lynn,
Scott's a superhero.
yeah, Lynn bringing me back twice into that room, you just don't think you'll get through it. She allowed me to go up onto my knees. I'm not quite sure how I managed that. I think they threw me over the top of the bed. And then we got to the pushing. Now, you know I've got symphysis pubis dysfunction, so the SPD thing. That made the birth much, much harder. And that's the one thing I kept saying, oh, well, the birth's going to be really easy because everybody says the pelvis is wide open, so the baby just comes out. That's absolute cack. It meant that every time I pushed down, and normally when you push, the pain goes, so you push harder. When I pushed, the pain got worse, and so I kept stopping. And unfortunately, Scott ended up at the business end of things, which he wasn't supposed to do, but he'll recover from that. And he said that several times he saw the head exit and come back in. I just could not quite hold on. So in the end, Lynn got really, really, really cross and was like screaming at me to open my legs up more, and I kept saying I can't move my legs, and I swear she just grabbed the baby out, but Scott said she didn't. I did actually push. But she was doing massage and all sorts to try and get the baby out anyway. And then she came out. She didn't shoot out, did she, Scott?
No, she came out nicely.
Did she pop out?
She popped out nicely.
That's absolute. No, babies don't pop out. Was there a popping? Did it look easy? I told him I didn't make much noise. I have to say, by the end, there was some screaming. It was the worst one yet. So, I don't think it gets any easier. But I'm not doing it again, so. And then out she popped, and they said to Scott, the first thing I can recall is they said to Scott, would you like to cut the cord? And he was just like, yeah, brill. He was actually really excited. What was the cord like? Tough. He didn't cut it with his teeth though. But yeah, so he cut her cord, and he did a really good job. I can remember very weirdly being over the end of the bed and crying. It wasn't with relief, it was actually because I was still in an awful lot of pain for some strange reason. The uterus actually caused me an awful lot of pain. It took him a little while to get the whole thing out. Bizarrely, once they did actually give me an injection and then pulled it out because it wasn't going to come on its own, the pain did stop. So, missed the exiting. Then I had to have more gas and air. And at this point I thought I was a hilarious comedian because 3 of the midwives had to come in and sew me back together in the downstairs. I'm still discovering where they've put stitches. I think there's quite a bit of damage. But there's going to be, when you discover that Thea's head was 37.5 centimetres, which is on the 100th percentile, so they don't get any bigger. They told her she was 4.41 kilos, which it turns out is £9.12. So Scott's got bragging rights at the gym now, haven't you?
Yeah.
He's saying, don't say that. But they all like to talk about how big the babies are. And she's 55 centimetres, so she's the same size as her big sister. And again, she's on the 98th percentile. Now, so you think Karis would be 6 foot odd? No, she's just a normal kid, so I don't know what these things mean, but she's a bruiser, and yeah, I'd have gone for a cesarean halfway through that birth. But she was born at 8:48, so as you can see, we spent exactly 50 minutes in the labour suite. And I got sewn back up. I got completely off my face on gas and air, but do you know, I think I deserved it. And definitely thought I was a comedian for the midwives. I said some naughty things. But that's my recollections. Scott can't get over how much the baby bumps disappeared, can you?
I'm just looking hot.
He says I'm looking hot. I look like cack at the moment, but we're going to start our postpartum, if that is what you call it, baby blogs. I'd rather say it's kind of like over the pregnancy week one, and also Thea's journey, because she might want to star in a few of these. Because already, man, it's 3 days in and we're learning loads, and probably things that would actually help you guys. We've already had to throw some of the principles out the window, like not having the baby in the bed and dummies and all kinds of stuff, because somebody doesn't want to sleep at night. And if you're wondering, you've heard lullaby music in the background. This is Mr. Scott's biggest contribution. She would not stop. She was up all night the first night we got home. And in the middle of the night I was kind of in tears, because this is the third night I haven't slept. And he Googled lullabies and pulled them up on YouTube. So there you go. If you're a new parent, you can find lullabies on YouTube, and they just play over and over and over and over and over again. And they actually put Daddy to sleep as well, because he was snoring within about 10 minutes.
Daddy don't snore.
Daddy does snore, so does Thea. So yeah, that's what I remember from the birth. So this is probably a long video, but you know, just remember everybody's birth's different, and just go with it. And if you're due very soon, good luck. And if you have an induction, all the ones I've seen, they're extremely quick. They really do take an awful lot of the waiting out of things. So there you go. So that's us signing off from our pregnancy vlogs, isn't it, Mr. Scott? It's all over. But we have a much more exciting journey now.
You'll be. We're going to give you weekly updates on little Thea. For our YouTube fans and for all the grandparents, uncles, aunties, cousins.
Yes. Yeah. This is just as much for our families who, you know, don't live down the road from us, so they can see what we're up to and that we are okay, and that Thea is doing well, and that Karis is having an amazing time being her sister, because yeah, you'll definitely be seeing Karis hopefully on camera, because she loves her little sister.
She doesn't love the camera though, so...
No, she doesn't love the camera, but she does definitely love her little sister. Seen more of her in the last 3 days than I think I have in the last 3 months. So there you go. So bye from me. You can say bye, Mr. Scott.
Bye, and thank you for watching, and thank you for all the support, thank you for all the comments, thanks for all the likes, thanks for all the Facebook messages. For those who know me personally, thanks for all the text messages, thanks for all the phone calls. Really appreciate it.
And for all the checks that are due in the post and sponsorship deals, thanks.
If everyone who said congratulations just sends €5, I think we could get a few thousand out of this one.
Ah, he's so cheeky. He is.
I'm kidding, but thank you very much anyway.
No, seriously, thank you. There is so much Facebook stuff I haven't even seen yet, because I'm kind of still in bed. But we'll get round to that and why in the postpartum blog, which we're going to start soon. So we best sign off. Bye, guys. Say bye-bye, see ya.